स्टार्ट कर दी अच्छा अस्सलाम वालेकुम I'm here today with Mr. Tariq Azim Khan and we are here to conduct an interview about his life analysis. Sir, I want you to tell me about what was your lifestyle, activities and interests of an average student in your school and college days.
Just like every other normal student, I was a normal student. I went to school. Shukr Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah. My parents got me admitted in a very good institution, and I was able to do my matriculation and then my FSc from the same institution. And afterwards, I went to the Punjab University and did my bachelor's in pharmacy way back in 1988.
What was a typical day like from time of getting up in the morning and going to sleep?
The life for a school going child is the same. He has to get up early in the morning, definitely brush his teeth and take breakfast, and then go to school. And in school has to attend certain periods, and after attending school comes back, takes lunch, and after that in the evening he is able to play certain games and sleeps. This is the normal routine for a school going child. I also went through all this process, and when I was young, say up till class 8, definitely I had to listen to my mother and father, and they guided me very well in my educational process. And after that, when I was in my teen 16 and 17, I became a little bit independent in taking decisions, but definitely under the guidance and parentage of my both mother and father. I was lucky that I never encountered any harsh realities of life. I was taken very good care by my parents, and they provided me with all the necessary facilities of life.
Okay, so now I want to ask you how many family members were you and how was your life at home?
We are two brothers and two sisters. I am the eldest. After me, there are two sisters, and then there's a younger brother. So,
And how was your life at home at that
it
age?
was normal, a normal routine which everyone has to pass through. When you are living your life, when you are young, you are not that mature to understand certain things. When you become mentally mature, till you become mentally mature, you take certain things for granted, and this is how I experienced my life also. But when you become mentally mature, mental maturity does not come immediately, it also slowly comes to you while you experience certain things in life. So definitely everyone has to learn through his mistakes. I also learned from my mistakes. But I believe that destiny and fate also plays a very important role in one's upbringing. It is not necessary that you become what you are when you grow up without the intervention of some high spiritual being. I also was a normal student, and I was for foreseeing the life as a very casual, in a very casual way. So, Bharat, this was what my life was.
Okay, so how much time was spent with family and what tasks you did together back then?
We used to play games back then. There was no computers nor any electronic gadgets, etc. We used to play Ludo, we used to play Carom, we used to play Pithukaram, and with my sisters, with my parents. These were the normal activities, and I remember when first time TV came, we were very much. That was way back in 70s, I think so. So we our first TV was in early 70s, and it was definitely a new thing, especially uh, cartoon programs were very dear to me. I used to daily make out some time and sit in front of the TV to watch a cartoon. At that time, cartoon was only televised just for 4 or 5 minutes daily at 4:45 to 5 p.m. So nowadays, matlab, you young students are very lucky that they have a very vast majority of things to choose from. We used to play these things when we were young.
Okay, so apart from family, how were the friends and relatives? I want you to give us some thoughts on that too.
In 70s and early 80s, the life was very simple as compared to now. People used to meet each other, visit relatives on regular basis, and had a good cordial relationship. The life was simple as compared to now.
Okay, so I want us to move from your personal experiences. What products and services were used when you were in college, university at that time?
When I went to the Punjab University at that time, it was way back in 1984. A lot of technological interventions were happening, and we were also very fascinated by certain things which only the elite class was enjoying at that time, like cell phones and computers. They were newly introduced into our society, and only the elite and the rich were enjoying such things. However, during our uh, time in pharmaceutical department, computers had crept in and were available if anyone wanted to have the facility to. He was able to go and contact someone to work on a computer.
Okay, so how did you used to go to your school and college? What was the mean of
Mode
transportation?
of transportation during school, my father used to pick pick and drop me from school, and when I was in college, I was given a bike, and I used to go to my college on motorbike, and in university then I also used a motorbike. So I used motorbike, and I used to go as a conveyance. I used a bicycle for a very long time.
Okay, so as you have shared your personal experiences in university and college, I want to ask you what were the students' favorite time pass, entertainment, or recreation activities?
During early 70s and 80s, outdoor games were the only recreational activity which everyone enjoyed. There were no computers, no certain the things which you people have now. There was no cable, no dish antenna, certain things. We used to play and go out and play in the ground. We used to play cricket, football, hockey, swimming, riding. These were the activities which majority of the students used to enjoy and used to do.
Okay, so it is said that stages in life bring a lot of changes in one's lifestyle. Kindly recall and share how many differences came in your life when you were single and then you got married.
There are various phases in life which everyone has to pass through. I also I was lucky in the sense that I never faced any hardship in my life. But definitely, it is the daily grind. You have to go through it. There's a routine which you have to follow. You have to get up early in the morning, and you have to prepare yourself to go to the go to school or college or university, and you have to come back and you have to study on your own. There were very less tuition centers at that time, and students used to study by on their own. There were no coaching centers at that time. I also studied daily on daily basis, and particularly when my exams were near, definitely I used to study daily for 3 to 4 hours, regular basis. Without studying daily, I would not sleep. It was my routine, and because of that, I was able to get first class in my pharmaceutical sciences degree, and after that, I was able to join the police department on the basis of that educational qualification.
And you got married after you got enrolled in the
Yes,
police
when
department?
when I was in police department, I got married in 1904. I was at that time inspector of police, and I married in 94, and now 29 years approximately have passed. And I am almost 60 now.
So, what are the differences in your single life and your married life? How can you compare that? And you can ask some comments about that.
When you are single, then there is no responsibility on you other than your parents or your brothers or sisters. You take decision for your own well-being. You don't have any responsibility. After getting married, definitely it's a commitment you have to make. You have to live with another person, and after that, when you have children as a result of the marriage, definitely you have to take care of the responsibility and the well-being of your children. And every good father and good parent has to go through all this process. One thing which I must tell you, that when you are passing through that phase, you don't realize and you don't understand that the time is passing daily, and after when a certain portion of time has passed, then you realize. Now when I look back, it just feels that I have passed the time so quickly that if I am given a chance again to relive my life, to definitely what mistakes I did, I would try not to do that. This is what you have to pass through. You don't experience this thing when you are young, and you cannot determine whether the action you took at that time was right or wrong. As I've told you before, that hard work and your perseverance definitely counts, but the destiny and fate also is very important. Whatever I have achieved is because of the will of Allah. If they were very bright and very good students in my class, but some of them excelled far beyond my success, and there are certain which could not do well in life. This is all because of if you are 30 or 40 students in one class, and if you take them from their school to college, university, and to practical life, and then till their death and experience and calculate their experiences, so definitely some will be able to be very successful as a businessman, some will be very successful as a human being. I think I was able to have a good life, and I was able to enjoy a good relationship with others.
Okay. So then, what differences came when you had kids?
In fact, these are not difficulties or discrepancies. Definitely, when you become married, so the decision should be unanimous and should be collective. It is not possible now that being a father or head of the family, one is able to take all the decisions alone. You have to take decisions in concert with other family members. So as your children grow, definitely this decision making becomes more difficult, and it has to be collective decision making, not dictatorial decision making.
Okay. So compared to that era, what pros and cons do you see in current life?
Other than the availability of technology and definitely the cost of life, human nature remains the same. Back then, it was also the nature of humans was also the same, which is the nowadays we are facing. Definitely, human nature does not change. Only the material things and developments, they surroundings they change. Otherwise, we have seen that people used to lie at that time also, and now also people lie. This is what human nature is.
So, and apart from human nature, what do you see the pros and cons in the technology and the advancement of today's generation? And
Definitely, now you have young generation has more opportunity if they want to have want to increase their knowledge. They have a lot of opportunities which we were not be able to provide it with at that time. Now, if a student or if a person wants to gain knowledge, he has a lot of things from which he can enjoy and take benefit of.
okay, so how much people used to help each other in your days back then when you were
Good
young?
and bad people always remain in the society. At that time, things were a bit simpler than now. People used to take care of each other, definitely, because cunningness and shortcuts is a acquired way of life. You cannot nature wise, every human is pure at heart, but when he experiences certain things, so he can acquire cunningness and other false things which dictate his personality.
Okay, so it is often said that the moral values are declining. So, if you're okay with that, I want you to share one or two incidents of your era where people demonstrated care for others, sacrificed for others, or did something for a greater good of community.
Moral values definitely change with material development. People at that time there was combined family system. People took it very bad to live after marriage. They used to live together. Now most of the time, due to economic reasons, definitely after marriage people want to stay independent. This has definitely changed. Students have got opportunity and they go abroad in search of work. It was not considered good for a son that he would leave his parents and live somewhere else. It was not considered good at that time, but now it is a normal routine.
Okay. So in the end, kindly give a few suggestions that you can give as to how we as individuals might improve.
Be a good human being, be positive, think positive, and do hard work. This is the success of life.
Okay, so if you compare your today's life and your life back then, which one would you select, or which one would you prefer? That being in that time and being in this time.
Definitely, when one is young, he is dependent on others. When as he grows up, he becomes independent. Independent life is definitely very good. Uh, some people say that I want to become a child again. No, uh, I independent life is far much more enjoyable than being dependent on someone.
So you'd say that we have to get independency first, or we have to work hard for ourselves to make ourselves independent.
Independent life means that you are able to take good decisions by yourself. You are not dependent on the decision. Definitely, this does not mean that you don't share your feelings with your parents or brothers or sisters. Definitely, collective wisdom is far much more important than anything else. But when there is someone who dictates you that how to live your life, that is not good. Definitely, you independent means that you are able to live your own life, and not by destroying or making bad relationship with your brothers, sisters, or parents. In consent and with the consent of your parents and your brothers, you are able to take decision which is better for you and your family.
Okay, so as we see now that the technological advancements in our time today and the technological advancements back then in your time, so do you see that if we compare the technological advancement, does that have something to do with our happiness or our understanding or our daily routine?
Definitely, technological interventions ease life and they help you to achieve happiness. But you don't, when we were young, our parents were not having the technology were not enjoying that technology which we enjoyed when we were young. And similarly, whatever technology you are enjoying now is going to improve and will be far more superior after say 10, 15 or 20 years. So definitely technological advancement is a continuous process, and when you'll become at my age, you'll grow to my age, then your children will be telling you, Papa, you don't know anything. See, I can do this, I can do that. So this is what happens in every generation. We also faced it, and you are also going to face it.
So, and how would you compare today's as an individual, how would you compare today's generation and the generation back then? Were they more materialistic, or the generation that you face today is more materialistic?
It all depends upon your upbringing and your values. If you have been living in a good family and who have taught you good morals, definitely you are going to experience life as a good citizen. Otherwise, if you are have not been brought up properly, definitely you are going to take shortcuts.
Okay, so thank you so much for your time.
No
And
problem.
this was it was good. It was good taking your interview. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Hafiz.